It is a tough sport. So let's hit it. What I got wrong. What I got wrong. I got a lot of things wrong. Number one, shocked by the lack of pass rush against a bad Giants offensive line. They gave up 6 sacks to the Patriots. I think they were going to get better. DeVito got better. He did a good job of escaping. 0 sacks. He averages 7.1 yards per carry. We didn't even say Kenny Clark's name last night. Really. And, Rashawn Gary gets those two in particular against the matchups that they had. I just thought that they'd really, you knew Preston Smith, and Preston Smith won a couple times, had some pressures, but Andrew Thomas is a really good player. So you're just going like, he's not going to get a ton against Andrew Thomas, especially the way these guys play ball. Like, they're not going to give you a ton of dropbacks, right? But Justin Pugh, he came off the couch. John Smith Jr. He's a rookie. Brent Bradenson. Okay, like, you just think we're gonna get some W's off these guys, and then Tyree Phillips, who I said last week he's playing well, but I didn't think he was going to play that well against our best guy. Number two, the Giants came in 14th in the league in rushing at 115 yards a game, and they went for 209 yards at 6.1 a carry. I thought the Packers played well in the expected runs for the most part until that, the last Saquon run. You played well in the expected runs, but that backside nonsense that they were trying to do with Gary and Devontae Campbell, and then a lot of that maybe for the RPO, but and then the RPO game, the quarterback scrambles, like all the off schedule stuff, the end arounds, like it just makes it really difficult, man. Like, there's so much going on with these offenses now. It's not just I'm going to hand the ball off under center to the running back. There's so much they have to account for. Sometimes it feels like it's easier for me to just bring a wave. Like, you're either going to play it base, let your 3 technique move and rock a little bit, or you're going to bring like Sam Strong safety, like something significant off an edge and force them into the short throw. They're going to take a tackle for loss. Like, otherwise, all this other stuff, it just seems really difficult. I feel like in this modern NFL, and especially with a team like the Packers, if you're not allowing your safeties and linebackers to try to make plays on their side of the line of scrimmage, I think you're just doing yourself a huge disservice. Like, I'd rather take my shot there and make the running back, jump cut or something in the backfield than allowing them to get to the line of scrimmage before they have to make any real decisions. And I just don't think we do a very good job of that, quite frankly. The third thing is I thought Love and company would get on track. Jaden Reed had a good night running. Certainly. He had 4 for 38 with 9.5 yards per carry. He had eight catches for 27. So obviously not a huge night, but he's getting a lot of touches. He's the motion guy. He's setting up your offense. He's kind of becoming the premier guy with Christian Watson out. But you saw tonight, the footwork is a real issue with Jordan Love. And you see a theme there. And it's like when things go well, like last week, he's throwing dimes all over the field, and talked about on the show, like, a lot of those are bad foot throws. It's going to catch up with you. The last couple of weeks I've been saying it's going to catch up. It's going to catch up. And you don't want to be negative. You're just being realistic. Like, if you don't take care of that, it's a problem. Just because you're playing well doesn't mean it's not a problem. So the takeaway here, I think, for me is you hope that this is a hiccup. You hope that a final push is coming up. Tampa Bay's up next. I think they're leading their division at like 6 and 7. Like, they're not very good, right? So you got a team that looks very, very beatable. You have lots to play for, but you just cannot accept being 31st in the league in rushing defense. Like that is someone's heads have got to roll. 31st in the league this late in the season, heads got to roll. Cannot live as an offense with Matt LaFleur did another good job of putting Jordan Love in position to be successful. Jordan Love didn't show up. Footwork was bad. Too many errant throws. And I think it was 25 for 36. Like, people are going to go, it wasn't like 25 for 50, right? But a lot of these throws are so, for a pro quarterback, are throws that he's more than capable of making. A very talented quarterback, he's more than capable of making. So you can't because of the poor footwork. It's like sometimes you have a bad day, but if your footwork's always bad and you're making bad throws, some games you're making good. We're calling them good throws. Other games, it's like the throw to Dobbs last week on the 4th and 2, and he throws it, and everyone's going, "Oh, great read, great throw. And I go, you got to catch, you got to throw it if you're going to catch it, but don't lie to yourself and say that it was a good throw, right? It's a bad throw. Like, it could have been picked off. It was more likely to be picked off than not. Okay. But it made the play. So, you're a hero. But the difference between being a hero one week and a GOAT the next, or always being really good, is you're really good at the fundamentals. And that's as a team, not just him, but as a team, that's something you got to get better at. And this should have been a huge day for AJ. AJ averaged 3.5 yards per carry again, which I think is up from his 3.1. But with a limited Dexter Lawrence, with the way their linebackers play, without Jaden Reed's numbers, you're at 4 yards a carry this game against a team that averages against them in rushing defense 4.8 yards per carry and 135 yards on the ground, so 29th in the league. So they held you below their averages. And there's no way to win football games. I think we got outcoached this week defensively. Because all the stuff I showed you. Either you're allowing the rush lanes to happen, or you're coaching it the right way, right? When you decide to spy and the quarterback starts making play, like things, you still have to have a way for this to work. If you rush 5, you got to get home. If you rush 4 and bring a spy, creep the spy up, maybe get in his face earlier, but still have rush lanes. And the RPO, if the backside game with the linebacker defense isn't working, stop doing it. Like, maybe it was a big deal that you worked on it a bunch. Just don't run it. Doesn't work. Didn't work today. Sorry. If it's an answer for your RPO, because your RPO game is now getting beat, right? Those rules should be clear, and it was evident, at least on one of those, that from a rule standpoint, they made a mistake. So it's just like, you got to clean that stuff up. And again, you hope this was a hiccup. But there are some areas of opportunity, certainly, right? You got to improve your running game. This run defense, just the communication. We talk about it. Identify, communicate, and execute on both sides of the football. We didn't execute in the passing game. We didn't execute on the ground in the running game. I know we averaged over 4 yards a carry, but again, like, I'm always looking like, how are our running backs running? Like, are they getting 5 yards a carry? Because that's what they should be getting. That's what running backs should be getting in 6-man box games in the National Football League. So how do we get better in these areas? How do we communicate better on defense? Are we base fundamental tackling? Are we doing the work that we need to be done there? Those are the things that, like, if I'm part of this team, part of this coach, that keep me up at night. How do I get my safeties in a position where they're like, I'm going to take my shot behind the line of scrimmage, right? I'm going to be in position behind. I'm not going to try to have to tackle Saquon Barkley in the hole, 2-3 yards past the line of scrimmage. I want to get him before he gets ahead of steam, or I want to feel so confident that I can win play side against a left guard that just came off the couch, that, I'm going to just make him get boxed in, and I'm not going to allow him to get outside of it. Like, those things just have to be, part of the vernacular. That's why, I put up attitude with Isaiah McDuffie. He made mistakes, but there's an attitude that guys like that play with that I think really resonates in the locker room. You can't get enough of it. So on to Tampa Bay. I'm going to be doing a show on that in 2 days. I think that'll be a good matchup. So check for that on the Process to Perform channel. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe, and review on this one if you enjoyed it. I'm Mike Wall. You can hit me on MikeWall68 on Twitter, Process to Perform on Instagram. Have a great rest of the week. I'll see you Thursday.